The importance of Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar in Indian polity cannot be overstated. Economist, educationist, and the chief architect of the Indian Constitution, Ambedkar fought all his life to remove discrimination, degradation, and deprivation from the society, but even today the many people of high caste generals hate him and spread confusion about him. Baba Saheb was born on 14 April 1891 to parents Ramji Maloji Sakpal and Bhimabai Mulbatkar Sakpal in Ho in Madhya Pradesh. Ambedkar came from humble beginnings, but he went on to become one of India's greatest leaders. On his 126th birth anniversary, we bring to you 10 facts that you may not have known about him. They will help you see Baba Saheb's legacy in a new light. Ambedkar's original name was actually Ambedkar. Ambedkar's original surname was Ambedkar, derived from the name of his native village Ambavde in Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. It was his teacher, Mahadev Ambedkar, who changed his surname from Ambedkar to his own surname Ambedkar. Ambedkar was the first Indian to pursue a doctorate in economics abroad. Not only in Ambedkar the first Indian to pursue an economics doctorate degree abroad, he is also the first PhD in economics and the first double doctorate holder in economics in South Asia. He was also among the highest educated Indians of that time. During his 3 years at Columbia University, Ambedkar took 29 courses in economics, 11 in history, 6 in sociology, 5 in philosophy, 4 in anthropology, 3 in politics, and 1 each in elementary French and German. Ambedkar played a key role in establishment of Reserve Bank of India in 1935. Reserve Bank of India was conceptualized according to the guidelines presented by Ambedkar to the Hilton Young Commission, also known as Royal Commission on Indian Currency and Finance, in his book The Problem of the Rupee, Its Origin and Its Solution. Ambedkar also knew that the problem of the rupee is eventually linked to the problem of domestic inflation in a preface to the book version of his thesis. He pointed out, nothing will stabilize the rupee unless we stabilize its general purchasing power. The Mahad Satyagraha of 1927 was Ambedkar's first important crusade. The Mahad Satyagraha of 1927 was one of the defining moments in Ambedkar's political thought and action. Held in the small town of Mahad in Maharashtra, this satyagraha was held 3 years prior to Gandhi's Dandi March. While salt was at the center of Gandhi's campaign, drinking water was at the core of Ambedkar's crusade. By leading a group of Dalits to drink water from Chavdar Lake in Mahad, Ambedkar didn't just assert the right of Dalits to take water from public water sources, he sowed the seeds of Dalit emancipation. In his famous quote, he said, "We are not going to the Chavdar tank to merely drink its water. We are going to the tank to assert that we too are human beings like others." It must be clear that this meeting has been called to set up the norm of equality. Ambedkar changed the working hours in India from 14 hours to 8 hours. As the member for Labour in the Viceroy's Council from 1942 to 1946, Dr. Ambedkar was instrumental in bringing about several labour reforms. He changed the working hours from 12 hours to 8 hours in the 7th session of Indian Labour Conference in New Delhi in November 1942. He also introduced several measures for workers like dearness allowance, leave benefit, employee insurance, medical leave, equal pay for equal work, minimum wages, and periodic revision of scale of pay. Ambedkar's autobiography is used as a textbook in the Columbia University. A 20-page autobiographical story written by Ambedkar in 1935 to 1936, after his return from America and Europe, Waiting for a Visa is a book that draws from his experiences with untouchability, starting from his childhood. Ambedkar's autobiography is used as a textbook in the Columbia University. Ambedkar had opposed Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. Ambedkar refused to draft Article 370 of the Constitution, which gives special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, on the grounds that it was discriminatory and against the principles of unity and integrity of the nation. Article 370 was eventually drafted by Gopal Swami Iyengar, former Diwan to Maharaja Hari Singh of Jammu and Kashmir. Ambedkar fought for 3 years to get the comprehensive Hindu Code Bill passed, which gave several important rights to women. Ambedkar resigned from his post of the first Law Minister of India when the comprehensive Hindu Code Bill was dropped by the Indian Parliament. The bill had two main purposes. First, to elevate the social status of Hindu women by giving them their due rights, and second, to abrogate social disparities and caste inequalities. Some of the key features of this bill were: women could now inherit family property, permitting divorce and adoption of girls. The code gave both men and women the right to divorce if the marriage was untenable. Widows and divorcees were given the right to remarry. Polygamy was outlawed. Intercaste marriage and adoption of children of any caste would be permitted. And measure the progress of community by the degree of progress which women had achieved. Let every girl who marries stand by her husband, claim to be her husband's friend and equal, and refuse to be his slave. I am sure if you follow this advice, you will bring honor and glory to yourselves. Ambedkar was the first to suggest the division of Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. In his book, Thoughts on Linguistic States, Ambedkar suggested splitting Madhya Pradesh and Bihar. A good 45 years after he originally wrote the book, the split finally came with the formation of Jharkhand out of Bihar and Chhattisgarh out of Madhya Pradesh in the year 2000. On splitting one language states, Ambedkar's efforts were pioneering in the development of India's national policy for water and electricity. Ambedkar's efforts were pioneering in the development of India's national policy for water and electricity. He also established the Central Water Commission to facilitate the development of irrigation projects at both the central and the state level to spark the development of India's power sector. He also established the Central Water Commission to facilitate the development of irrigation projects at both the central and the state level to spark the development of India's power sector, which India still relies on, and well-trained electrical engineers in India. These were 10 stories related to Baba Saheb's life which you would have never heard before. Subscribe to our channel The Orient and like this video. Thank you.